All right, we are rolling. Starting now. I'll let the man himself take it away.
Thank you. This is In the Field with Oliver Field, currently filming in a secret location to avoid our legions of obsessive fans. We love you. But for the year in review, we felt that something more serious, something without constant, is that In the Field with Oliver Field? Couldn't really allow for. Because this year has been huge for us. This has been our very first year making a podcast. And I'm very proud of everything that we have done. Which is why I have to ask, George, what's your favorite episode that you worked on this year? What do you think was the most fun episode for you to work on?
Well, to be quite truthfully honest, I have worked on every episode, being your cameraman.
Yep.
But I think my favorite, definitively, would have to be episode 6, our most recent. I think our biggest and bestest was Fentalium, that interview. I think that ascended all the charts. I mean, you might look at our shorts, see we have 2,000 views on one of our shorts, but that Fentalium episode, I think that is our magnum opus.
Fentalium. That is really what put us on the Edgewood map when it comes to the cultural scene here. Without Fentalium's wonderful support, I don't think we would ever be where we are now. Like, literally in this room, keeping our voices down. Anyway, if I have to go with a favorite episode, I'd have to say The Intervention, because I feel like it really has helped somebody, I hope. And yes, it's a very important episode to me. I think that my arguments were extremely reasonable, well thought out, and kind of irrefutable. At least it has not been refuted yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Now, George, which is your least favorite episode that you worked on?
I think that our second episode is the bottom of the barrel. You viewers may notice that third episode is still unlisted for now. We're still working on that. It's still in the works. But starting at episode 2, we started to face some problems with censorship and the media and just like general some ops out there trying to take us down, silence us. But
It was a shame. It was a real shame.
But fear not. In the Field is still going to be kicking strong. We're going to bring you season 2 next year. That's still in the works.
And
Any thoughts on that, by the way?
well, I'm very excited for season 2. I have all sorts of pro-Semitic thoughts about it and about video essay ideas. We're also going to bring you a bit of a summer special, a little summer surprise, if you will.
We've got something in the works, big time.
It's not directly In the Field related, but it is more Oliver-tastic and George-tastic content, which is really what you come here for the channel for anyways. Now, if I had to choose a least favorite episode, I'd have to go with episode 5, because while our second episode was definitely the sloppiest, in my opinion, just because we didn't really have a plan and Centalium kept avoiding us, it was still really entertaining in some moments. A bit too entertaining because we had to re-upload it after censorship. But the thing with episode 5, I believe that it was the most watched video that's not like a short.
Yeah, I think the keyword Undertale in that video really ascended it to our number 1 most viewed main channel video. I don't know if that's the kind of representation that we're looking for, because we have some pretty interesting comments on that video, like some very thoughtful people with well thought out arguments, and like I've looked at some of them, and we agree with you. Yeah, thank you. And we agree with you guys. Sorry. And we agree with you guys, but I think that was the least articulate of our videos, and we can re-explore the whole Undertale debacle in future episodes.
I stand by what I said. And if you started watching my channel because of the Undertale video, I want to give you a special shout out. Even though it's probably nobody, because I think people only at Edgewood watching us. If you're some sort of strange adult person who really likes Undertale, who probably has an anime profile picture and started watching a YouTube channel of some teenage boys because of that video, I'm shouting you out. I just want to say you're one of my favorite fans. I know that there is one of you out there who is probably going to watch this one. So, anyway, let me check our next topic.
I just also want to add, before we move on to like the more streamlined topics going forward, season 2, be looking out for it. Production quality is going to be through the roof. I'm talking better camera. I'm talking better audio. I'm going to be doing so many more graphics. I was a little strained this year finding a job and everything, but once things are going to be locked down, season 2 is going to be where it's at. And we have gotten confirmation that like we're actually allowed to do this. But it was kind of under the radar for Miss Kaiser, but we've gotten permission.
We're official. We're official.
This is true. The only Oliver-centric podcast on this side of the planet, on the planet. So,
We think.
yeah, we're still working on the trademark, but just keep your eyes and ears peeled for season 2 next year. Gonna be looking forward to it.
For me, in season 2, I'm not sure if much will change. Hopefully, I'll be more articulate when I make such daring claims like I did in episode 5. But I do have one promise, and that is my arms will be 5% bigger in season 2.
I'm twink maxing, so my arms will be 5% smaller to increase my twink ability.
But you'll be doing squats, right?
Sure.
He's going to be doing squats over the summer. Now, on to the next topic. George, can you tell me, was there any new piece of media, book, film, video game, anything? What new pieces of media that you consumed over this school year that really stood out to you? And it doesn't have to be new as in it came out this year. It's just you were introduced to it this year.
So I'll give you one from each category: game, book, and movie, and TV show. I'll start with TV show. Something that I really liked this year as far as TV show go is The Last of Us Season 2. I don't say that I like it because of the plot. I think it sucks. The Last of Us Part 2 sucks. And the story, I'm talking like story. Story-wise, it sucked. But the adaptation between game to show was done really well. Even if the source material is pretty crappy and the end result story-wise is pretty crappy. But like there are some moments that shine through, like the Battle of Jackson. That was huge. That was an amazing moment. The CGI and the effects with the zombies I really like. As you can probably tell, I'm a pretty big buff for film, so I thought that was really cool, and that's really inspired me to see if I can try and work on sets like that where they have those behind the scenes type stuff. Because another thing, when the show came out, they also released sister episodes for like how they did it behind the scenes, and that was awesome. So maybe not the actual show itself, but those behind the scenes episode, peak. I love it. For games, what have okay, I bought Elden Ring, like about like when it came out.
Summer.
Yeah, I bought Elden
Last
Ring
summer.
when it came out, but I only got into Elden Ring this school year, and oh my god, dude, it is gotta be like in my top 3 favorite games. It is so good. It has made my entire perspective of like the whole medieval genre totally change.
Would you say fantasy?
Yeah, fantasy as a whole. I'm talking like the genre where Elden Ring lies in like more medieval fantasy type stuff. But that was really really great. As far as movie, I watched Memento. Memento was so good. That non-linear storytelling, with like going backwards in time as he pieces together what happened to his wife, to himself, with Teddy and everyone, and like the woman taking advantage of him. Excellent movie. that's really influenced like what I want to do. Okay, well, you should watch
I've
it.
never heard of it.
Recommendation. Speaking of recommendations, favorite book. Screw books. I went to Japan, so manga. We're talking manga. Vinland Saga. Oh my god, dude. Actual peak. Best thing I've ever read. It is so good. The whole plot with Thorfinn and Garm. Garm is my favorite. He comes way later, but oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. So good. You need to watch. You need to read Vinland Saga.
I'm gonna one up you there. I'm gonna do favorite manga and favorite book. When it comes to my favorite manga that I read during the school year, I would have to go with something that's very niche and very Gnostic, but very good. Eden, it's an endless world. While I wouldn't say that it's like in my top 5, I would call it in my top 10. It's a sci-fi manga about basically a disease wipes out a huge swath of humanity, just changes up the whole political situation. Now basically a UN ripoff controls most of the world. And the disease has just mutated to now where it is basically taking people over and making them a part of a hive mind. So things are getting very spicy. If I have any problems with the book, is that the overall story was kind of rushed, especially at the end, but the individual arcs in the series, so many just wonderful, wonderful stories, like almost side stories told. And the main story is still good. It's just, it's not perfect. Now, when it comes to books, I do actually read books. And I don't know, when it comes to fun books, the book I think I had the most fun with would probably be The Diamond Age by Neil Stephenson. That one has a lot of big sci-fi ideas in it, but I'm not really going to go into that now. The book that really affected me the most was Brideshead Revisited, or it might be Brideshead Revisited. Ignore that. Which is basically about a person who's introduced to this Catholic family, and he becomes more Catholic by the end, while the family itself, well, interesting things happen. And now, George, you might think, well, when you hear that it's a book about a person becoming Catholic, what does that make you think?
Well,
Be honest.
I'll preface this with saying that I am atheist myself, but so I don't really consume any religious media. But I there are very good messages in Catholic and Protestant teaching, so maybe going forward and
Could you say preachy for me?
what
That it would be preachy.
that it would be that preachy messages in these tales. So maybe the guy would go on to treat people better and be more mindful of where he stands morally.
He doesn't really become a better person at all throughout the book. Arguably, he becomes worse. And I'm sorry, George, I just set you up into position so that you could say preachy, so that I could say that it is not preachy at all. It is just honest in that the ending, especially, it's a love story, but Catholic beliefs do get in the way of that. And it is brutally honest about it. And while most atheists would be rather appalled, I appreciate the fact that it doesn't pull any punches in certain traditional Catholic beliefs upon topics like marriage and divorce. And I believe it adds a certain tragic quality that really affects you, because it is, in some ways, a tragedy. And also, when, like, the dad, the leader of the family, Brideshead, I don't completely remember his name, when he was, like, on his deathbed, that got to me, because I was reading that only about a week or so after my own grandmother died. So, it was good timing. Anyway, Movies. I didn't really watch a lot of movies. Um, Heat, I guess. I watched Heat. Heat was pretty good. Have you ever watched Heat?
No, but I've heard really good things. Pretty cool from what I've heard.
It is pretty cool. There was one part with a bathtub that really got me. I was not expecting that at all. And in that regard, I do have to respect. I do have to respect that it pulled that off, because that was pretty crazy to me. And I think it just really added to my impression of the movie, because it wasn't just a dumb action movie to me at that point. It was a melodramatic dumb action movie. Games. That was in ninth grade. I'd probably have to go with either Dark Souls, the first Dark Souls, which I played on my Switch.
I need to play that, by the way. I'm still working on the actual original Souls. I've played Sekiro and Elden Ring. Gonna try Bloodborne, but it's kind of hard to get to. But Souls I can work on because that's on PC.
I like Dark Souls way more than Elden Ring. I'm going to be honest, albeit I have not beaten Elden Ring. And Dark Souls does fall off at the end. It's just, I just love the exploration and vibes. And while Elden Ring does have that, don't get me wrong, in Dark Souls it is distilled up until you get past a certain point in the late game. I just think the game is like just, in my opinion, awesome and addictive experience as you're, traveling and introduced to new areas. It's just, I could do a full video on it. It's great. TV show. Okay. I'd have to go with Ghost in the Shell. Oh, no. I'm changing my movie. Because I just realized this was in the school year. The first or second Ghost in the Shell would have to be my movie of choice, the animated ones. And not like Arise or SAC or anything. The original.
Okay, so I forgot to mention anime. I'm also adding a new topic: favorite anime.
Okay.
It is gonna be like a 5-way tie. Cause they're all pretty good.
Go for it.
Okay, listen. My Dress Up Darling, Darling in the Franxx. They're both.
Well, Darling in the Franxx, I've heard some good things.
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
it's actually really good. The music is also so good. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love Me, and Chainsaw Man was not this year, so forget that one. Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul was really good. It got a little weird at the end with all the cannibalism, but I think it sends a message about like losing your humanity and succumbing. I don't like season 2 because I like the main character and then he just becomes a freaking monster. But maybe that's kind of like the point. Quintessential quintuplets. It's so good. Here's my ranking of all of them. Miku's number 1, and then Yatsuba,
Baseless escapism.
and then the redhead one, and then the pink hair one is the bottom, and then like the tsundere one is 4th. That's my ranking.
Not just baseless escapism, poisonous escapism. I'm sorry, George. I have to moral max. Got to get all my pedantry in so that I can go to the big man upstairs and be like, I yapped a lot about how good I was and how good you should be. And then he'll let me in. That's the strat.
I'll grow out of it. I just want to enjoy this phase while I'm in it, Japan is awesome. It's white person Wakanda.
It's what?
It's white person Wakanda.
They aren't even white.
But it's Wakanda for white people.
I think we should also lower our voices.
Okay, but it's white. Okay. It's white people Wakanda.
That was just Germany during World War II.
No, but
We already had to take a video down for that.
All right, okay. That's true.
Even though that was a black guy.
All right, next topic.
Well, I never said my favorite anime, which would be Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. That show is awesome. That show, in my humble opinion, does have more value than escapism. It's still mostly escapism. It's not like, a ridiculously complex novel that you can like change your life around, like Brideshead Revisited. But it's not completely horny like the five quintuplets who really
They're
really love
not.
me.
They're wholesome, and I don't condone the fan service moments. Those just happen, and I'm just bystanding.
You can't fill the void in your heart with slice of life anime. I already tried.
So we have a printed sheet. Wait, what?
That sketch one, I forgot its name, but it's something sketch is peak though.
Okay, so we had a whole sheet of what to talk about, but I'm springing a new one on you, a new category, a new something to talk about. Really, just in addition to the last one. Favorite new artist, music-wise. I'm talking music. Favorite new artist. I've been exposed to Isbroki, and I know a lot of people think it's trash, all are included. But I think it's fun. I think it's good music. I like it a lot.
I need to get. Okay. There's this. I don't know her name. I could go get her name. There's this one Japanese lady who makes the best jazz fusion albums ever.
Is it the one you showed me for the intro?
It's the one I showed
I
him.
have it.
It'll possibly in my intro.
What's it called? Like something move?
No, actually no, sorry. That is Jun Fukumachi. That is not like he's great, but I don't think he has as many great albums as this lady. She made Quark. I love Quark. Don't Be Stupid is my favorite album by her, and not just for the cover art. Look it up. It's really good. And then also Flying Beagle seems to be her most popular in America. It's what I started out with her, and it's also great. So if you're looking for some relaxing, jazzy music or an intro to your new podcast, I cannot recommend enough. Look up Don't Be Stupid. Well, just go listen to Don't Be Stupid or Flying Beagle. I'm so sorry I don't know her name.
I'll find it in post. This is her name right here. That'll be awesome in post.
I also started listening to Kanye West. And like those first three albums are peak. Graduation is peak, but I kind of like the College Dropout better. Like there's I'm just saying.
You're gonna get crucified. I'm just saying. Okay, next topic. Oliver, lay it on us.
Oh. I was gonna say something else about Kanye, but I really shouldn't.
No, okay.
So everything else was basically stuff if we had certain guests in here. It was kind of like an extra. How long have we been filming, George?
Here, let's make a cut right there.
Yeah, let's make a cut.
Rolling.
And we're back. This time with some guests who are not always behind the camera.
What's up?
This is
Caleb.
and
Chris.
just in case you haven't watched any of our previous episodes.
Or never mind. I don't want to talk about the episode I was in. It was something. The deep state didn't want me to tell the truth about the state of the world, but that's all I'll say. Hi, George's mom.
Big school just keeping people down again and again. But first, before the conspiracy talk, we're going to talk about how was your year versus, compared to other years. And did any big events in your personal life or school life happen that you would like to mention? Hopefully positive events. And how about we start with Chris and move this way?
All right, that works.
Well, I'll say this was definitely a year for me. I've sort of got early senioritis. If you look at my focus, it's like first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, So it wasn't the best for me. I took some hard classes. Oh, Any like 8th graders or 9th graders over, never take anatomy and physiology. Do not even think about taking it. The coursework is the load is so heavy. Pause. You will not, and it's a college level course, but with none of the AP benefits. So just don't take it. Take AP calculus if you feel like you're up for it and you don't laze around and like you actually do the work. In terms of major events, I'm gonna say this. I think the Empire of Centalium has fallen. I think he's washed now. He's fallen off. Because first you got Fentalium, and you got the rise of In the Field with Oliver Field. He just can't compete, bro. He's done. Then you had the rumors that he was moving. Truly, the West has fallen. Truly, the West has fallen. It's Jover for him. All right, that's it.
Well, as you guys heard earlier, my name is Caleb. As this year was definitely a lot more difficult than last year. I have slept so much less than last year. The work has gotten insane, but I mean, I love the school. I'd never leave. Like, what?
That sounds like Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, it might be. That's fair. But yeah, it's just gotten a bit hectic. I'm in all sorts of stuff now, doing all sorts of things, never have any time to myself. But it's great. I love it here.
Talk about your cat. Talk about your cat.
Sound like a battered woman. You know, sometimes he's really nice to me.
Earlier that was last year.
Talk about it anyway.
Okay, all right. I got a new kitten. His name is Oz. He's been doing great. He's a ton of fun. He is insanely cute. And if anyone...
We're going to put Oz pictures in post.
Okay, yeah.
Send me those later.
All right, yeah, I will.
Really cute.
Yes, he is very cute. I love him to death. This is very necessary. As of big events, really not all that much happened to me. The school got metal detectors though, which are that's later. Okay, all right, that's for later.
Choice words.
Yeah, me too. All right, back to Oliver.
When it comes to this school year, was it harder than last year? Yes. Especially since I took 4 AP classes.
I took 6. Get on my power level, bro.
Chris is saying how he got 6.
You were in one.
Yeah. We were in an AP class together. That was not a fun class, but it was a little bit funner with Chris.
Yeah.
And when it comes to big events, I had a girlfriend.
Wait, like actually?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Emphasis on had.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Other major events outside of school is that somehow I have not been kicked out of school for getting B's. I've once again narrowly scraped by with enough A's to not be sent to Cocoa Beach next year.
Is that what your parents are threatening you with?
Yes.
That's got to be like a war crime or something. You can't. That's got to go against the Geneva Convention somewhere. I'm pretty sure in Article 15 it was like, don't send people to Cocoa. That's terrible. That's the tax bracket of Belarus, bro.
Cocoa Beach High. Thankfully not Cocoa. Oh, all right. Extra guest unlocked. It's George Garnhart from earlier.
Hi, it's your favorite editor, George here. My year was actually pretty lame overall. Some drama. I have to deal with having an ex now. Scary stuff.
Also got a girlfriend?
Emphasis on got. That was last year. I would have talked about this then.
Crossed and burned.
And burned. Getting a driver's license. We can all talk about that.
Yeah.
Driving is a lot of fun. Scary at first, but it's one of my favorite things to do now. But it costs money. Speaking of money, I got a job. What is a job like, George?
You can't say that word. You can't say that word.
Oh, you triggered me.
George, I said no slurs.
George. Watch the language.
I have a thing that gets me money, but I have to work. What is that like, George? It's not. It has its ups and downs. I mean, it's kind of it's stressful. That's the main thing I'd say. It's stressful. But it is worth it because you get money and then you lose money because you go to your friend's beach party and then you get a parking ticket, which is my fault. But still, that was my year in review. Mostly good, but also kind of bad.
All right. Now we are going to talk about the increasingly dystopian state of our school, particularly with the metal detectors, but it's not just that. If it's all right, we're going to go the opposite way now. Which actually means, George, do you have any thoughts on this? Would you like to go first?
On the 1904 thing?
1904.
George is now talking about 1904.
So the 1904 thing, predecessor to the Roaring Twenties. I learned about this in A Push. I think it was a really important thing. The Great Gatsby was really cool. Okay, but
I'm Gatsby.
on the topic of like school becoming more, I don't know, oppressive. So a big thing this year was the metal detectors, right? That came into place 2025, and not only did we get metal detectors, but now we also have a giant fence along the track, and it actually just feels like prison. Along with the construction site making our new robotics building, from the windows of the media center, you can't look out with just like a giant brick wall. It's like actual like comically prison-like.
The wall. Literally the wall.
Pink Floyd album, really bad. Don't check it out. I hate it, man. The music videos gave me nightmares.
Don't look at me. I don't listen to Pink Floyd.
You're another brick in the wall, George.
I'm the best brick in the wall.
He said the thing.
We're gonna be
All in all, you're just another brick in the wall, George.
I'm the coolest brick. I'm the load-bearing brick because I bear loads. I'll hand it over. I'll hand it over to all.
I'm just going to tell one story about Edgewood and about how things currently are. When my dad was first scoping out Florida and this area for us to move here from California, he drove by Edgewood all the time, mainly because it's right next to a bridge to go to another island. Well, he always thought, until I was in 6th grade and he started looking for high schools nearby, he always thought it was a low-security prison. In my opinion, it's now literally a low-security prison. That is all.
The metal.
right.
He is absolutely right.
completely right.
As the metal detectors have gotten insane, I will say they're a lot less of a pain than what everyone thought they were going to be when they first got them. One thing a lot of people have figured out is that you don't even have to take out your binders when you go through. The binders don't register, but that was one of the main things we were worrying about, is because we would have had to take out all of our binders and our laptops and having to carry all that stuff everywhere. It's just insane. But it's not as big of a problem. It just changes how everything feels and works at this school. Because for me, I have an instrument, so every day when I bring it home, I have to go drop it off in the band room before I can go do anything else, because I don't want to be carrying that around all day. So the way it used to work was I would get dropped off at the senior parking lot, which is right by the band room, and walk straight in. But now with the metal detectors, we have to enter through one spot for those to work, and now I have to walk all the way down to the track and then right back to drop it off. It's not fun.
I believe the great George Orwell wrote about this in his hit book 1984, released in 1949. And honestly, the prison comparison is perhaps the most apt comparison, because with the fences and the increased rules and the metal detectors, it is I already know what book that is. It wasn't a book.
It wasn't a book.
And it feels needlessly oppressive. That's what I'm gonna say. It feels needlessly oppressive because none of these security protocols ever actually help the security of the school. Like, how are teachers being not allowed to open doors, or how are people being not allowed to like change classrooms? How is that at all helping the security of the students? Like, literally, the metal detectors. The worst thing about them is they don't even work for like 99% of actual weapons. You can bring a knife to school. You can probably bring a bomb.
Don't try this at home.
Kids,
Don't.
go to school. Anyways, doesn't detect. I've not tried to bring any larger blades. I will, and you should too. But it just doesn't actually help the students. Neither does the fence. It just makes things needlessly complex and slows things down. It just makes things more inconvenient. And the one entrance thing is so like stupid because it just slows people down. It makes people late. And it's compounded by the fact that Mr. Sobke is such a authoritarian when it comes to people who are late. What?
In the field. In the field has no official opinion on this matter, one way or the other.
No, because like if you punish people for being late and then like limit our entrances to only one, it doesn't really. You're just gonna get people who are late for no reason. And here's the thing: I've talked to Mr. Sobke about this, like 1-on-1, or I guess 2-on-1. I don't know. I've talked to Mr. No, not like that. Not like that. Oh yeah, we were getting rough. It was wet and wild out there. But so I talked to Mr. Sobke, and the thing is, he didn't choose to implement most of this stuff. This was a county or school board level decision. He's just been in charge of how to implement it, and our school doesn't get that much funding. Like, did you know the metal detectors are $15,000 a piece? 15 grand.
For two poles or just one?
I can't remember if it was for a single pole or for both.
I'd imagine they come as a set.
I'm sure they come as. If it doesn't, that is just highway robbery, bro. Anyway, 15 grand a pop. Combine that with having to build fences. The school we're probably going to have to, our desks are probably going to be confiscated next year. We're probably going to have to sit on the floor in all of our classes, let's be honest. And our cafeteria food is probably going to be, I don't know, the ants from a local cemetery or something.
I just, really fast, I just feel, like, I agree with, like, the authoritarian thing, but I just feel like it's an airport now. Yeah, like, I just feel like it's an airport now. That's just how I feel every morning. And airports suck.
Well, now that we've finally come to the true, 100% accurate and unbiased conclusion upon the metal detector's introduction into schools, I would just like to say thank you to our guests for coming. Thank you for, the cameraman George, editing videos.
Always respect your cameramen. And if Miss Sinatra's watching, which I know you aren't, respect tech people. They're the people who make this kind of stuff possible.
Okay. And I'd also like to say sorry to Mr. Woods. If any of you are in his class or know him, please just show this part of the video. I'm sorry. Okay, we've been filming for quite longer. It's just, I should have realized that adding more, I'm trying to think of a history comparison, adding more nations into the war makes things spicier and louder. I don't know.
Is this writing this fight?
And any other final comments?
I've got one more thing on metal detectors. If someone really wanted to do something here, the metal detectors aren't going to stop them. Theoretically, yes.
Purely theoretically.
They're
In Minecraft.
exactly. And also, a lot of the times, they don't use the metal detectors for after-school events. So they're not checking what you bring into the school. Allegedly. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it really is a shame when they don't check what you bring into the school in Minecraft.
Wait, I have another comment about
Oh,
Minecraft.
okay. One last comment.
I will say, in regards to the whole XP farming in Minecraft, that creating long lines of students outside of the school. If I in Minecraft, if I were hypothetically about to spawn a wither, if you were a griefer, that would look like just more pieces of your mob farm. That's what I'm gonna say. Your mob grinder.
I don't know why I was just showing the length of Caleb's wee right there. Interesting things happen to my hands. I'm Italian. Thank you to my Italian mother. And thank you to Mr. Wu for letting us in his little book shop. If any of you know Mr. Wu, you should show him this, because I'm socially awkward. I can't do it. Anyway, this has been In the Field with Oliver Field, and I swear I will be in a field next time.
Post episode update. We are in a lockdown as we speak. Literally lockdown. What two words does lockdown have? Lock, 1984. Down, my emotions,
Brave
right?
New World.
Brave New World, 1984. To Lord of the Flies, to Catcher in the Rye, To Kill a Mockingbird, the Take Day, Alive,
Hunger Games.
0 Day, Inferno, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Fahrenheit 451.
There we
Fahrenheit
go.
451. That's a good
Fahrenheit 451. The Book of the New Sun. Synchronicity. That's all I have to say. This is right after we filmed with Chris and Caleb talking about the 1984ification of school, and right after Chris had a little tirade talking about the practicality of griefers in Minecraft taking advantage of the school system. So,
I would like to say, on behalf of all the staff and crew behind In the Field, us two, we are so grateful to all of our viewers and subscribers and commenters and likers and dislikers and sharers for all the support, and we are dedicated to bringing you more field content next year. We're going to be getting it right from the rip. We're going to be doing even more episodes. We were able to get 7 out this year, including this one. We're looking for double, maybe even triple digits next year. No spoilers. I'm just saying anything's possible when we put our two very big brains to it. So, Mr. Field, the man himself, do you have any final comments from this year and our first year of podcasting?
just to say, it has been a good run, George. And that this has been In the Field with Oliver Field. Thanks
for watching.